Please be seated. The commencement ceremony for the class of 2022 at the Robert Larner, MD, College of Medicine at the University of Vermont will be presided over by Dean Richard L. Page. Welcome, Dean Page.
Thank you, Dr. Cushman, and welcome all of you to this beautiful, beautiful day. It's my honor to welcome everyone here in Ira Allen Chapel and all of those from throughout the globe via our live stream who are joining us today. And especially, welcome to the physician class of 2022. We are honored today that Provost and Senior Vice President Patty Prelock is with us today. And let me welcome a very special guest, our commencement speaker, whom you'll hear from shortly, Senator Bernie Sanders. Before we proceed with commencement, we should take a moment to acknowledge others joining me on stage for this occasion. The deans, chairs, and other leaders gathered here have the privilege of representing the many faculty and staff who contributed to the education of the graduates we're honoring today. I'm going to ask them to individually stand when I call their name and remain standing. I ask that you hold applause until they've all been named. Dr. Krista Zala, Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education. Dr. Lee Rosen, Interim Associate Dean for Students. Dr. Catherine Huggett, Assistant Dean for Medical Education. Dr. Karen Lounsbury, Level Director of Foundations and Preclinical Assessment. Dr. John Rosen, Associate Dean for Medical Education at our Connecticut Clinical Branch campus. Dr. Ellen Kalaga, Assistant Dean for Students at our Connecticut Clinical Branch campus. Dr. Natalie Feldman, Interim Associate Dean for Admissions. Dr. Justin DeAngelis, Interim Assistant Dean for Students. Dr. Charles McLean, Associate Dean for Primary Care. Dr. Jan Carney, Senior Advisor and Associate Dean for Public Health and Health Policy, also representing the Department of Medicine. Dr. Rebecca Wilcox, Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs. Dr. Ann Doherty, Director for Gender Equity. Dr. Mary Cushman, Faculty Marshal. Dr. Gregory Holmes, Chair of Neurological Sciences. Dr. Robert Altoff, Interim Chair of Psychiatry. Dr. Matthew Gieslin, representing the Department of Radiology. Dr. Ira Bernstein, the Von Sickle-Make Chair of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Reproductive Sciences. Dr. Matthew Wargo, representing the Department of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. Dr. Ajay Malhotra, representing the Department of Surgery. Dr. Wolfgang Dostman, representing the Department of Pharmacology. Dr. Bridget Mariquin, representing the Department of Anesthesiology. Dr. Tom Peterson, Morris Golden Professor and Chair of the Department of Family Medicine. Dr. Deborah Leonard, Chair of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. And last but not least, Dr. First, Chair of Pediatrics. Let's give them a round of applause. Please be seated. Hello, class of 2022. You're very special to me. I arrived as dean soon after your medical education began, the very week you and I received our Larner white coats. We've been together almost 4 years. Hard work and long hours come with medical education, but nobody predicted you would become a doctor in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. In March of 2020, UVM and the Larner College of Medicine in particular pivoted almost overnight to entirely online education. We had to ask ourselves, how can we continue to educate our preclinical and clinical students? On the other hand, how can we not do that? This class especially was affected. since this occurred just as they were starting their clinical clerkships. There have been other challenges for this class. Later that year, our UVM Medical Center was profoundly affected by a cyber attack. On top of all this uncertainty, our entire country has reckoned and continues to reckon with a legacy of social injustice and racism. And finally, as Dean Zalo will further acknowledge in a few minutes, we all continue to mourn the loss of one of your classmates. Indeed, the past few years have been difficult in so many ways, but thanks to the resilience of this class and our other students, faculty, and staff, medical education continued unabated, and here we are today. Yeah. And you, the class of 2022, are the clearest indicators I can think of better times ahead. You're the best promise for our future. You fill us all with renewed hope. You're committed to equitable health care. You've gained incomparable experience helping to fight a pandemic. You even learned how to take notes and write orders by hand, old school, when the computer system was down. Throughout, you've shown commitment, compassion, and professionalism, and I thank you for that. Our college has a long-standing commitment to medical education and the engagement of medical students in learning not just the science of medicine, but also the art. We want to educate in the core values of a healer. Our College of Medicine emphasizes communication, reflection, and professionalism. We built on this tradition with our statement on professionalism developed by a diverse task force of students, trainees, faculty, and staff, and introduced during this class's first year. Challenging times such as these underscore even more our commitment. The statement, which appears on the back of today's printed program, reads, "Our Larner College of Medicine community upholds the highest standards of professionalism as we follow our passion for lifelong learning and improvement. We demonstrate professionalism through integrity, accountability, compassion, altruism, and social responsibility. We honor the trust our society has placed in us as stewards of the art and science of medicine, relying on cultural humility, kindness, and respect to guide our daily interactions. We expect all members of our community to embrace these principles of professionalism as we strive to conduct and support patient care, research, and education that are second to none." Notice that this statement affirms professionalism, but does not state how you must look or where you must be from, rather what is in your heart as you strive to be the best for your patients. This commitment to professionalism is our true north, and we trust it will serve the class of 2022 for years to come. Now, this is a big day for the family and friends here. As we celebrate this milestone, let's take an opportunity to thank those who have played an important role in helping you all arrive at this moment. Attending today, either here or remotely, are friends, family, loved ones who have supported and encouraged you all every step of the way. So now I'd like to ask our graduates to stand and face your loved ones and give them the round of applause that they deserve. Okay, please be seated. We could go on all day with that part. Now, this class is today joining an extraordinary group of individuals, the alumni of our college, many of whom are with us today. As alumni, you will extend our campus beyond its physical borders, making a difference in the communities at home, similar to the difference you've made in our community. As you begin this next phase of your journey, I wish you only the best. I encourage you to let integrity, compassion, and social responsibility lead you throughout your career. Let cultural humility, kindness, and respect guide your daily interactions. With these core values and the education you've received, you're ready to greet the patients who await you. Congratulations once again. Now, it's often said that medicine is a team sport. In the care of our patients, we depend on our colleagues and our partners. Our college couldn't ask for a more collaborative and engaged partner than the University of Vermont Medical Center and Health Network. Our shared missions guide our relationship to benefit the patients and their families, and also to benefit the education of our students and trainees. This relationship is embodied by Dr. Isabelle Desjardins, who holds both the titles of Chief Medical Officer for the University of Vermont Medical Center, as well as being Associate Professor in our Department of Psychiatry. It's with great pleasure that I invite Dr. Desjardins to share some words from our partners at UVM Medical Center. Dr. Desjardins.
Thank you, Dean Page. It's my pleasure to join you, Senator Sanders, Provost Prelock, Dean Zale, and esteemed faculty and administrators to celebrate our graduates and their families. Dear graduates, today I'm speaking on behalf of all the clinical educators of the University of Vermont Health Network who touched your lives and the lives of your patients during those past 4 years. I'm here to tell you how proud we are to welcome you as our colleagues. We're here to celebrate all the knowledge, the expertise, the competence, and the personal growth you have acquired. I also wish to take a moment to recognize your guests. To all of you here, family and friends, it's likely that you're here because you played some role in getting your graduate to this day. So allow me to acknowledge your part and say congratulations to you as well. Today's moment in time, this ceremony, is going to become one of many punctuations in your professional lives. This is a moment to reflect on where you've been, where you are, and where you're going. I was told that one of the points of my presence here today was to offer some advice. I choose to offer hope. On that, let me tell you where I've been. I remember vividly being in your shoes 29 years ago. I was not at the top of the class. I had no clue how anyone could rattle medication names and doses without looking anything up. And I basically learned English by reading the Washington Manual. Fast forward to where we are today. I stand before you, humbled to serve as physician leader and UVM Medical School faculty, and privileged to address you today in English. And we are here to witness the awarding of your degree with a pandemic in the rearview mirror, reunited in a crowd again, transformed, determined, and ready. Let's take it in. As I was anxiously writing this address, my kids said, "Don't worry, Mom, nobody's going to remember what you said anyway." Well, I hope I can leave you with something to remember. Which brings us to where you're going, where we are going. You are entering medicine at a time when the amount of new knowledge to acquire far exceeds anyone's capacity to retain it. A time where there is seemingly no permanence. You will have to remain curious, constantly challenging yourself to keep your mind open. There will be moments where you will reach the end of your knowledge. You will reach the end of your knowledge at times, when you don't know what else to say and what else to do. When you are the one who's supposed to know what to do, but you don't really know. Those moments happen a handful of times in a career. And these are the moments when integrity and humanity will float you. It will matter the most. Stay humble. Keep your patient at the center of all your decisions and follow your true north. It will be transformative. If and when this resonates with you, send me a note. Tell me your story. Remember that you're not alone. I insist because you will always belong here. Stay connected regardless of where you are going next. You will always be welcome back here with open arms, and we embrace working with those of you who are staying with us for residency. And for those of you who are not, please come back. We value you. We are proud of what you're doing, and please enjoy the journey. Thank you.
Thanks for those inspiring words, Dr. Desjardins. Our next speaker served 4 terms as mayor of the city of Burlington, beginning in 1981. He then began representing all Vermonters during 8 terms as our state's independent member of the U.S. House of Representatives, and in 2006 he won election to the United States Senate, representing Vermont as an independent. And he was re-elected by Vermonters in 2012 and 2018. He is the longest-serving independent in U.S. congressional history. He's twice campaigned nationally as a presidential candidate, becoming in the process even more familiar to millions of people across the country and indeed across the globe. They have learned to think of him, as Vermonters always have, on a first-name basis. He has long fought for equitable treatment for all. And I know that his words today will have special relevance for these graduates who are about to embark on a career of service to their patients. I should note that the class of 2022 requested that we invite Senator Sanders, and I could not be more grateful that he accepted our invitation. Please join me in welcoming to the lectern United States Senator Bernie Sanders.
Well, thank you, Dr. Page. Dr. Page, thank you very much for that kind introduction, and let me thank the class of 22 for inviting me to speak to you today. And let me thank the administration, the faculty, and the staff here at the medical school for your hard work in creating, for our small state, one of the great medical schools in the United States of America. We're very proud of what you have accomplished. And mostly, let me congratulate all of the graduates on your incredible efforts to be where you are today. I know that it has been a difficult path and more hard work remains. But congratulations on your success, and I wish you the very, very best in your future endeavors. What I wanted to do this afternoon as chairman of the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Health is to say a few words about where I see the state of health care in America and where I think we should be going. And I know that as medical school graduates and physicians, you're going to go out into the world and do your very, very best to keep our people healthy, to ease pain, and to save lives. That is your mission, and I am absolutely confident that you're going to fulfill that mission to the highest degree possible. But today, I am asking something else of you, of and beyond your skills as physicians, something which may get you into a little bit of trouble or a lot of trouble, but something which absolutely has to be done. I am asking you to understand that the overall healthcare system in which you will be practicing is a system which is dysfunctional, extraordinarily wasteful and expensive, and a system which is cruel. And I am asking you, as physicians, to help us lead the effort to fundamentally change that system. The American people understand that, as Dr. Page mentioned, I have been to every state in this country. And time and again, the issue of health care is the issue that people talk about the most. And what the American people understand, the people all over the world understand, is that health care is a human right, not a privilege. And that together we must end the international embarrassment of the United States of America being the only major country on earth which does not guarantee health care to all people as a right. The function, in my view, of a rational and humane health care system in a civilized democratic society is to provide quality health care to all, not just huge profits to insurance companies and drug companies. And the views that I hold on the state of the American healthcare system, trust me, are not just my views. Poll after poll, including a recent poll published in March, said that an estimated 112 million American adults are struggling to pay for health care, and more than double that number feel that what they do pay for is not worth the cost. And the report on that poll states, quote, Americans are finding it increasingly harder to pay for health care. Over the past year, the percentage of Americans who report skipping needed care due to cost has increased to 30%. 30% can't get to a doctor when they need. But a lack of affordability is not the only issue affecting Americans' experience with the healthcare system. They are also dissatisfied with its value. More than half of the country reports that the care provided is simply not worth the cost. It is not acceptable to me, and I hope to you, that over 70 million people in our country today are either uninsured or underinsured. I think that's a conservative number. As we speak, right now, there are millions of people who are sick, who want to go to a doctor but cannot afford to go to a doctor because either they are uninsured or they have high deductibles and co-payments that they cannot afford. And let me tell you something which you're not going to see on corporate television, and that is that every year, according to a number of studies, at least 60,000 of our fellow Americans die unnecessarily because they don't get to a doctor when they should. And I have talked to doctors, and I think many of the physicians up here will tell you, that they have seen people walking into their office much sicker than they should have been, and you ask, why didn't you come in 6 months ago, a year ago when you first had your symptoms? And the answer is, I could not afford to come in. In the United States of America, the richest country in the history of the world, our health or our longevity, how long we live, should not be dependent on the amount of money that we have. And again, an issue that is not talked about very much, is, in fact, how long we live is very much dependent on our wealth. If you are rich in this country, you will likely live 10 to 15 years longer than if you are poor. And that's not the end of it. It is the quality of your life, whether or not you're going to be suffering with chronic disease for years if you don't have the money to get the health care that you need. Now, the issue here is not that we are not spending enough money on health care. According to a recent report from the CMS, Center for Medicare and Medicaid Studies, we are now spending $12,530 per capita on health care. Can you imagine that? For a family of four, almost $50,000 a year is what we are spending on health care, and that is double what other industrialized countries are spending who somehow manage to provide quality care to all of their people. We spend over $12,000. The UK spends $5,200. Our neighbors up in Canada spend $5,300, et cetera, et cetera. In other words, we are spending a huge amount of money on health care, which has a very negative impact on our entire economy, and yet we are getting very poor value for what we spend. For the incredible amount of money that we are now spending, we should have, far and away, the best health care system in the world, which of course we do not. And I got to tell you that I am tired of seeing working class families in Vermont and throughout this country pay far more for health care than they can afford. And more than 500,000 Americans every year who are forced to declare bankruptcy. You know why they're going bankrupt? Because somebody in their family got sick and they can't afford to pay the hospital bill. Does that make sense to anybody? Frankly, I am tired of hearing from Americans who lost loved ones because they could not afford the outrageous cost of prescription drugs in this country. You are going to be writing prescriptions for people who walk into your office, and 1 out of 4 of those people are not going to be able to fill those prescriptions. And what happens? They're going to get sicker. Maybe they end up in the emergency room. Maybe they end up in the hospital at far greater expense to the system than the prescription drugs would have cost. I am tired of talking with people who are struggling with mental illness but cannot afford the mental health counseling they desperately need. Last year, as you all know, over 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses, and I will tell you that we get calls in my office, and senators all over the country get the same call from desperate people looking for mental health counseling, and that health counseling is not available. And I am tired of a system, unbelievably, where we spend so much more than any other country, and we don't have enough doctors, we don't have enough nurses, we don't have enough dentists and other healthcare practitioners. How can that be? We spend a fortune and we can't even provide the medical personnel that we need to take care of our people. And the result of that, as all of you know, is that there are areas of this country where people have to travel hours to find a doctor or to get emergency care. And I am tired of a system in which people and doctors and nurses spend hours having to negotiate and fight with an insurance company as to whether or not they are going to get the care that they thought they paid for. We need more doctors, we need more nurses, we don't need more bill collectors. And by the way, dental care is part of health care, and we have got to end the situation where millions of people have teeth rotting in their mouths because they can't afford dental care. And I want to tell you, as somebody who works in Washington, will be in Washington in a few days, this debate over health care, my friends, has nothing to do with health care. This debate is whether or not we maintain a system which is based on the unquestionable greed of the healthcare industry and their desire to make huge profits year after year after year. While millions of Americans cannot afford health care, last year the 6 largest health insurance companies in our country made over $60 billion in profits. The CEOs of these big insurance companies made over $3 billion in total compensation. And it's the same thing for the drug companies. Americans can't afford the high cost of prescription drugs, and I will not forget, ever, taking people from the Midwest who are dealing with diabetes into Canada and purchasing insulin, the same exact product, for 1/10 of the price that they're paying in the United States of America. And year after year, we continue to pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. What the debate is about is whether we stand up to the huge amounts of money that the insurance and drug companies are putting to maintain this immoral system. Since 1998, the private health sector has spent over $10 billion on lobbying, and over the last 30 years, it has spent more than $1.7 billion on campaign contributions. That is why we have the system we have today, because they buy politicians and they spend huge amounts of money on lobbying. Right now, we were dealing last year with a sweeping piece of legislation which is not going to get through because of their power. And when we take on the pharmaceutical industry, understand where I work, where you have 535 members of the House and Senate, there were 1,500 paid lobbyists from the pharmaceutical industry. 3 lobbyists for every member of Congress, including former leaders of the Democratic and Republican Party. So this is not a debate about health care. This is a debate about whether we have the power to take on enormously powerful folks who could care less whether people die, so long as they maintain their profits. So what is the alternative? What kind of system should we be striving for? And as I mentioned earlier, every other country, including our friends in Canada, 50 miles north of here, guarantee health care to all people. Well, we are fighting for what we call a Medicare for all single-payer system. And what that means is and that system would provide comprehensive health care coverage to all without any out-of-pocket expenses, and unlike the current system, it would provide full freedom of choice regarding health care providers. No more insurance premiums, no more deductibles, no more co-payments. And comprehensive means the coverage of dental care, vision, hearing aids, prescription drugs, and home and community-based care. According to the Congressional Budget Office, a single-payer Medicare for all system would save hundreds of billions of dollars every single year. Now, how is that? Because we end the absurdity of spending huge amounts of money on bureaucracy and the administration inherent in a for-profit insurance-created system. So you're not going to have thousands and thousands of people billing people or arguing with people. We're going to put those people to work in terms of providing health care. So let me just conclude by saying this. I know that you got a great education here, and I know that you're going to use your education to do everything you can to make life better for your patients. But what I'm suggesting to you is you cannot do the job really that you want to do unless you have a system where anybody can access the health care that they need, that they can afford the prescription drugs, that we have doctors in all parts of the country so that when people get sick, they can walk in to the door. In my view, a great nation is not judged by the number of billionaires it has or the number of nuclear weapons it has. It is judged by how it deals with the needs of working people and low-income people. And you can be in the forefront of that struggle. So I hope very much that you will use your position as doctors. Doctors are very much respected in our society, and I hope you will use that position, not only fighting for your patients, but fighting to create a healthcare system in this country which is worthy of the United States. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Senator Sanders, for joining us, for celebrating with us, and for those powerful words. It's now my privilege to recognize the 19 members of our faculty who are receiving emeritus status this year. It's impossible to take the full measure of the contributions made by this distinguished group. It was their mission to teach and to learn, to ask questions as well as answer them, and to prepare a generation of physicians and scientists to make a difference in the world. Their names are listed in the program, and we're tremendously grateful for their contributions. I also want to go off script for a moment and acknowledge another emeritus professor with us today. David Naween, professor of music and the Marlon B. Coe University organist, has participated in countless UVM commencement ceremonies. This is his final performance, and we're grateful for his talent and service. I would also like to take this moment to congratulate the faculty and staff who have received awards from the class of 2022. Their teaching support and mentorship have been invaluable. All of these honorees are likewise listed in your program. Now, in May of 1999, medical student Krista Zala walked across this very stage in Ira Allen Chapel and became Dr. Zala, setting out to pursue a career in pediatrics. Today, she is professor of pediatrics, and since January of this class's first year, she has served as senior associate dean for medical education. There are few people more passionate about the student experience, more dedicated to student wellness, or more engaged in student success. And through this very special 4 years, I cannot imagine a finer partner to me in leading our college. It's with great pleasure that I welcome Dr. Krista Zala to share her message to the class of 2022. Dean Zala.
Thank you, Dean Page. I must admit, I'm a little bit intimidated having my remarks follow Senator Sanders, but Senator Sanders, thank you so much for your inspiring words. So to the family and friends joining us today, I have the distinct honor of getting to know your graduates throughout their medical education here at the Larner College of Medicine. And I am grateful for the relationships formed and all that they teach me. So thank you to all of you. Thank you also to our distinguished guests, all our dedicated faculty and staff throughout Vermont, Connecticut, and New York who make educating future physicians possible. And most importantly, thank you to you, students of the class of 2022 who are receiving your Doctor of Medicine degree today. Congratulations, you did it. I was recently reflecting on MedEd 200 in your first day of orientation. Do you remember August 13th, 2018? And I was thinking, has it really been 4 years? When we began this journey together back in 2018, I initially as your Dean for Students, and now as your Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education, we had no idea what you were all about to endure. A pandemic gaining momentum during your final preparations for Step 1 exam. A sudden delay in your entry into the clinical environment, which you had been eagerly awaiting. And then the unexpected loss of a classmate. Collins Ogwejafor was an incredibly kind person who was always willing to put the needs of others before himself. I encourage you to remember his altruism, his infectious smile, and his love for ketchup, and carry that with you throughout your career. We miss Collins, yet I like to think he is with us in spirit today, and I know he would be so proud of all of you. I invite you to join me in a moment of silence and prayer, if you wish, in honor of Collins. Thank you. Since then, so much has changed in yourselves, in healthcare, and of course, in the world around us. Every day, we are reminded of the crucial work we must do to protect human rights, such as freedom, justice, equity, and access to education and healthcare, as Senator Sanders referenced. You remain hopeful and resolved in your commitment to public service, actualizing your dreams of becoming a doctor, and cultivating social responsibility. I am so proud of all that you have accomplished, and am honored to be part of your celebration today. This day is for you, in recognition of your hard work, your advocacy, and your many accomplishments. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it is the power of disease to upend daily life in ways we never thought possible. But it has also underscored that providing medical care is work that is vital. I thank you for choosing this profession, and more importantly, your future patients thank you, as you will have a profound impact on their health and well-being. You are desperately needed, and your commitment to taking on the role of healer has never been more universally acknowledged. I hope you also feel, as I do, that your profession itself is something to be grateful for. I feel privileged to be a physician and thankful for the opportunity as a pediatric hospitalist to care for the children in our community. Our country is still in desperate need of physicians to equalize healthcare utilization across race, insurance coverage, and geographic locations. I encourage you to use your position as a physician to continue to advocate for change. Your voice will continue to be important throughout your career, so speak up for what is right. Model professionalism, and demonstrate kindness and respect in all that you do. I hope that you will look back fondly on your time at the Larner College of Medicine. You certainly have stories to tell about clinical education during a pandemic, learning the healthcare system during a cyber attack, and seeking a residency program sight unseen. I am proud of how well you navigate new and difficult terrain, and inspired by your ability to adapt to the demands of medical school and chart your own path to success in medicine. Most importantly, I am grateful for all that you have taught me. You have enriched our community, you've raised questions and participated in conversations about important issues, and you have contributed to the success of our medical education program, paving the way for current and future students. You will leave today's ceremony well prepared to go out in the world and serve patients. I promise you are well prepared. After all, that is why you came here to the Larner College of Medicine. I am honored to have you join me as a fellow UVM Larner alum, and although we are parting ways today, I don't view this as goodbye, but a new beginning. Keep in touch and stay connected with us, with each other, with mentors, family, and friends. You will benefit from that continued support throughout your career. So, class of 2022, congratulations, best wishes on this special day, and I look forward to hearing from you periodically and catching up at reunions. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce Francis M2K, a member of the class of 2022, who was selected as this year's student commencement speaker. Francis is from Plano, Texas, and received his Bachelor of Science degree in Biomedical Science from Texas A&M University. As a Larner College of Medicine student, Francis served as a voting member of the admissions committee, a member of an educational LCME subcommittee, a member of the Student National Medical Association, and as a leader of the Christian Medical Students Interest Group coordinating annual Thanksgiving food distribution within our community. Francis was also selected by his peers to be inducted into the Arnold P. Gold Humanism Honor Society in recognition of his demonstrated excellence in clinical care, leadership, compassion, and dedication to service, and served as the chapter's vice president this past year. This summer, he will begin his residency in anesthesiology at Virginia Mason Medical Center in Seattle, Washington. Please welcome Francis M2K to the lectern.
All right. So I haven't gotten this cleared, but Senator Sanders told me I had about an hour. So everybody buckle up. No, actually, I'd first like to start by thanking Deans Page and Zayla and everyone up here for the wonderful opportunity of letting me express my deepest gratitude and, for the privilege of addressing this graduating class, the class of 2022. Recently, I was actually eating lunch with a dear friend of mine, and when delivering this speech came up, I explained that I was pretty nervous at the prospect of speaking in front of such a large conglomerate of people. She explained to me that what I was going through is called glossophobia, also known as the fear of public speaking. She informed me that 74% of people suffer from this and that I should have nothing to worry about. Seeing as how she is a very intelligent person and one who exudes extreme confidence, asked how I could combat this fear and kind of join that unfazed 26%. She then said to me, don't try to be too witty, don't try to be too intellectual, and don't try to be too charming. So if you act anything like you normally do, you'll be just fine. I tell you all that story just in case I get nervous or emotional on stage, asking that you bear with me. Howdy. By the looks on some of your faces and the cheeky smiles that some of you are struggling to hold in, I can tell that that greeting is one that may feel a bit foreign to you. Truth be told, even after 20 years as a quote-unquote Texan, it still feels a bit foreign to me too, almost as foreign as being referred to as a doctor. One would think after years of classes like organic chemistry, and attacks and defenses, exams like the MCAT and Step 1, and countless interviews, both fresh off red-eye flights and from the comfort of our bedroom desk chairs, the term, "I'm the doctor," would be more instinctive. For me, however, that has not been the case. Maybe it's because 22 years ago, my mom, Tapua, left our humble Zimbabwean origins behind, with me shortly following, in favor of the uncertainty that awaited us nearly 10,000 miles away. Mom, you came to this country and ran so that I could pick up the baton and soar, and for that I am extremely grateful. Thank you. Maybe it is because I still remember that feeling in the pit of my stomach when I passed Block 2 of Focus by a single point nearly 4 years ago. Maybe it's because now I stand before you as one of the mere 2.6% of anesthesiologists that are black males. But I can't seem to shake the feeling that I'm not supposed to be here. Yet here I am because the Larner College of Medicine took a chance on me. Thank you. And thankfully, my story is not unique. In this very room sit 113 of the finest doctors that I've had the privilege of meeting. Among you are Afghanistan war veterans, mothers, old and new, fitness instructors, authors, chefs, musicians, and athletes. Among you sit those of Lebanese, Indian, Taiwanese, Mexican, Chinese, Irish, Turkish, Israeli, and Nigerian origin. Among you sit 113 lifelong Larners that UVM took a chance on, and 113 individuals that took a chance on UVM. 4 years of taking chances on UVM has given us a classroom experience that is second to none. While world-class professors like Dr. Bill Raska and his notorious A and C but not B question style have taught us to challenge ourselves past the point of saturation, to maintain confidence in our preparation, and to withhold nothing when approaching our goals, other instructors, like Dr. Rebecca Wilcox, whose pre-exam rally cries I still sometimes replay while brushing my teeth in the morning, have taught us to infuse patience, kindness, and tender compassion that is trademarked to UVM into every task that we get to take on. 4 years of taking chances at UVM have provided us with a cultural experience beyond what we could have imagined. Relationships formed on the intramural soccer pitch or while pulling late nights in the Dana Library spawned cook-offs between me, an African, and my Indian classmate, Prasanna, in which we served Chinese food to 30 of our closest American friends. Those same relationships spawned cookouts with my Irish classmate, John, karaoke sing-offs in New Orleans with my Vietnamese classmate, PJ, and visits to classmates all over the country, from Los Angeles to Atlanta to Tennessee. 4 years of taking chances on UVM taught us to be selfless in service, to give humbly and generously, and to rally around our fellows in need. Never was it more apparent to me the type of student that UVM attracts than when gathered with my classmates, celebrating the life of our brother and classmate, Collins of Guejafor. 4 years have seen us all grow, develop, and attain the best of what the UVM experience has to offer. And for this, I, like you all, am eternally grateful. And now we find ourselves at the finish line. But in our case, the finish line is just the starting spot. Because of the chance that we took, thousands of patients, thousands of war veterans, of mothers, of fitness instructors, authors, chefs, musicians, athletes, and so many more will have chances taken on them. Chances taken by doctors who not only got expert instruction on patient care by LCOM faculty, but were also given the opportunity to hone in on the intangibles of being a physician, namely compassion, empathy, and dedication to service. To the to the deans, the faculty, the standardized patients, the administrators, the custodial staff, and to every single person who took part in this journey, we thank you. To the parents, the siblings, the friends near and far, we apologize for our sporadic absences, and we thank you for your support and patience in all forms. To our future patients, get ready, because we are coming. We are the doctors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis, Dr. M2K, for those wonderful remarks. I should mention that I appreciate Senator Sanders being able to be here. He was called away, but sends his regards again. So the time's arrived. Are we ready? Yeah. It's now my great pleasure to invite the medical students in the class of 2022 to come forward and receive their hoods and diplomas. Dr. Catherine Huggett, Assistant Dean for Medical Education, will be reading your names, and Dr. Lee Rosen, Interim Associate Dean for Students, will be assisting Dean Zala with hooding today.
Dr. Patrick Daniel Clark. Dr. Samir Aladina. Dr. Amelia Anderson. Dr. Mary Ann Kelly Barnum. Dr. Michael Stephen Barnum. Dr. Elizabeth Frances Baumgartner. Dr. Abigail H. Belzer. Who is being hooded today by Dr. Jonathan Flyer, Associate Professor of Pediatrics. Dr. Adrian Nicholas Berg. Dr. Lauren Marie Bajukas. Dr. Megan Elizabeth Boyer. Dr. Richard Joseph Brock. Dr. Carla Brandeo Viruet. Dr. Matthew Charles Hill Brandt. Dr. Alexander M. Brown. Dr. Sarah K. Brennan. Dr. Christian A. Brooks. Dr. Jose Antonio Calderon. Dr. Magali E. Carey. Dr. Garrett Chan. Dr. Kelly J. Chan. Dr. Sally G. Clark, who is being hooded today by her sister, Dr. Emily Bruce, Assistant Professor of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. Dr. Julia Lane Clemens. Dr. Marlena Klasina Cook. Dr. Olivia Rose Cooper. Dr. Delaney Marie Curran. Dr. Noreen Ali Damji. Dr. Nicole Kimberly Delgado. Dr. Emily Maya Aiken. Dr. Gia Rose Epen. Dr. Adam Thackeray. Dr. Sheridan Mia Finney. Dr. Aramat S. Gariwal. Dr. Francesca Rose Garofalo. Dr. Faith Evelina Genero, who is being hooded today by Dr. Bridget Merriquin. Associate Professor of Anesthesiology. Dr. Carolyn Garaci. Dr. Catherine Joan Gehrig. Dr. Lauren Gabrielle Gernan. Dr. Jeremy Rainville Greenberg. Dr. Kaylin Jean Gregory Davis. Dr. Dory Elaine Guptill. Dr. Elizabeth Hannah Hahn. Dr. Emma Victoria Hall. Dr. Ryan Grant Harned. Dr. Rachel Marie Harrison. Dr. Luke Michael Higgins. Dr. William Milan Holden. Dr. Jennifer Elysia Holland. Who is being hooded today by Dr. Jonathan Flyer, Associate Professor of Pediatrics. Dr. Seneca D. Hudson. Dr. Ugerta Estrefi. Dr. Benjamin D. Kagan. Dr. Mala Kate Keith. Dr. Prasanna Kumar. Dr. Alexandra Kuzma. Dr. Sylvia M. Lane. Dr. Kyle William Leonard. Who is being hooded today by his sister, Dr. Nicole Leonard, a 2019 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Emma C. Levine. Who is being hooded today by her parents, Dr. Caroline Levine, a 1997 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine, and Dr. Benjamin Levine, a 1993 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Jean Lin. Dr. Tierra Victoria Lynch. Who is being hooded today by her mother, Dr. Linda Lynch, a 1991 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Eric S. McLean. Who is being hooded today by his father, Dr. Charles McLean, Professor of Medicine and Associate Dean for Primary Care. Dr. Kelly Aaron McPherson. Who is being hooded today by Dr. Jonathan Flyer, Associate Professor of Pediatrics. Dr. Rachel Munich Mather. Dr. Taylor Daniel Marquis. Dr. Elena P. Martel. Dr. Rose Mariah Martin. Dr. Cheyenne A. McGee. Dr. Colby Lever McGinn. Who is being hooded today by his father, Dr. Dana McGinn, a 1980 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Michael Michel Mikhail. Dr. Alexander Thomas Miller. Dr. Allison Rochelle Miller. is being hooded today by Chief Resident of Family Medicine at the UVM Medical Center, Dr. Will Everett, who is a 2019 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Leah Miller. Dr. Colin B. Montgomery. Dr. Odessa Marie Morano. Dr. Adam Moorhead. Dr. Francis Takuzwa, M2K. Dr. Carly R. Mulligan. Dr. Jordan Ari Roger Munger. Dr. Sindhuja Nathan. Dr. Michelle A. Oberding. Dr. Kathleen Rose O'Hara. Dr. John Patrick O'Keefe. Dr. Ambrose Robbins Orr. Dr. Melanie Patricia Parzial. Who is being hooded today by Dr. Deirdre O'Reilly, Associate Professor of Pediatrics. Dr. Alice Peng. Dr. Caitlin Marie Pepper. Dr. Ashley Nicole Peterson. Dr. Alexa Keller Pius. Dr. Megan Elizabeth Prue. Dr. Olivia Elizabeth Quatella. Dr. Anna Grace Quinlan. Who is being hooded today by her brother, Dr. Noah Quinlan, a 2017 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Samuel A. Raska. Who is being hooded today by his father, Professor of Pediatrics, Dr. William Braska. Dr. Adam Douglas Jackson Ross. Who is being hooded today by his mentor, Dr. Ronald Balasanian, a 1996 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Claudia E. Russell. Dr. Maha Salim. Dr. Myrna Cristina Sanchez Gru. Dr. Lauren Schlussel. Who is being hooded today by her father, Dr. Frederick Schlussel, a 1982 graduate of the Larner College of Medicine. Dr. Anya Sirikureja. Dr. Emily Straley. Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Struck. Dr. Kayla Sturdivant. Dr. Irene J. Sue. Dr. Michael Ibrahim Tabet. Dr. Zeynep Tek. Dr. Fong Tran. Who is being hooded today by Dr. Jonathan Flyer, Associate Professor of Pediatrics. Dr. Angela Troya. Dr. Nicole Joy Turgeon. Dr. Peter K. Twining. Dr. Allison Royal Zun. Dr. Mohammed Wali. Dr. Jacob Oki Weiss. Dr. Jenna Bria Wells. Dr. Nicole Lynn Wershoven. Dr. Sabrina J. Worth. Dr. Hakeem Mootaz Youssef.
Wow. Let's give the class of 2022 one more round of applause. We're not quite done yet. Congratulations, doctors. I think even better than the COVID fist bump is the opportunity to say congratulations, doctor, to each one of you. Now, all members of the class of 2022 and members of our platform party on stage, I'm now going to ask to please stand for the oath. So let's all stand. This is the recitation of a statement that marks a new physician's entry into the ranks of medicine and serves to remind all physicians of their commitment to the profession. The oath expresses the wisdom and ideals of centuries of physicians, from Hippocrates to today's graduates. I also invite our physician faculty and any other physicians among us who wish to renew their pledge to stand and recite with us. You will find the oath on the last page of your program. Please repeat after me. I'll say the line and you'll say it back. Everybody ready? It's exciting, isn't it? I swear to fulfill to the best of my ability this covenant. I will respect the scientific gains of those physicians and scientists in whose steps I will walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will remember that there is both art and science to medicine. I will pursue the expansion of my knowledge throughout my life for the benefit of my patients. I will practice medicine with conscience and dignity. I will respect the privacy of my patients and not judge them. I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure. Most especially, I will tread with care in matters of life and death. If it be merely within my abilities to help ease suffering at the end of a life, may I face this awesome responsibility with humility and awareness of my own frailty. I vow always to act to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of healing those who seek my help. There it is. Congratulations to our graduates. Doctors, thank you for the contributions you've already made to our college and to our community. I have no doubt you will go on to accomplish great things, and I'm excited for what lies ahead of each of you. Please be seated. I look forward to that time in the future when we can all return for a reunion. You with your classmates and we with you here at this special place where your medical career began. In closing, I want to thank everyone in attendance today, our honored guests, our college leaders, faculty, and staff, our alumni, and the many friends and family of the class of 2022. What an amazing event to be here in person in this beautiful chapel, made even more meaningful since you shared this event with us, whether in person or online. To close, I would now like to ask Faculty Marshal Dr. Mary Cushman to close our ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. We invite you to a celebration and reception in the Grand Maple Ballroom of the Dudley Davis Center. The Davis Center is a short walk across campus, or shuttle buses are available at the front of this beautiful Ira Allen Chapel. Following the exit of the faculty recessional, we would like all members of the class of 2022 to assemble promptly on the front steps of the Ira Allen Chapel for the official class photo. What an occasion, the first time for this in a few years. I can't wait to see you all out there. We ask everyone else to kindly move clear of the front steps so that we may have the photo taken. I hereby declare these commencement proceedings closed.